Hey, what's up guys? How's your day? I'm trying to make this video in order to maybe help a few people that are looking to do some lighting renovation in their houses. Right now, the ceiling, if you can tell, has been ripped out. There's gonna be a whole new ceiling installed and then new lighting as well. So I'll also link both of these products down below, the exact ones that I got, so you know which ones exactly are the ones that I'm talking about. But I'm gonna be comparing these two different lighting products. One is from Torchstar. Yeah, Torchstar, and one is from Parmida, P-A-R-M-I-D-A. And the Parmita ones there's a lot of I think they're just like a Chinese company that are just like, there's a bunch of different ones that look exactly like this, so I'm sure they're just rebranded, I'm sure. The Torchstar, I really didn't see anything like this besides the actual Torchstar, these right here, they're from Torchstar. Let me show you the differences in these lights. They're both LED. I got the 5,000 Kelvin units, the ones that are the cool white instead of the warm white. Okay, so the Parmita lights, they're a very, very thin light. This is the thickness of the two lights. You can kind of see right there. Very, very similar. This Torchstar are actually shallower. I don't know mounting depth, but I mean like as far as like being flat with the ceiling, these will be more flat with the ceiling. These kind of bulge out at the bottom. But anyways, the Parmita come in the box, you have to order 12. This front diffusion thing slides off, and then there's an extra plastic sheet of diffusion in there. So underneath you'll see there's the LEDs under there. These three holes on each side, 1, 2, 3, are the three different holes that you would need for the different size junction boxes that are currently in your ceiling. I've already wired up, and there's a few lights here that have clips like this in my ceiling that I've wired them up to test them out. So that's what you get in the Parmita. Now the Torchstar, this one right here, there's like a weird like sealant gasket around it that doesn't really line up right. Oh, there we go, okay. It was just off a little bit. Okay, and then all that really comes out is this one wire, which is actually a locking mechanism, which goes into here like that, and then you twist it and it locks. So it ain't coming apart. So you twist it and undo it like that. So you get the light. It has these tiny little clamps on it. These clamps that kind of go up into the ceiling right there. They got some really good tension on them, definitely. And also comes this junction box. And when you open it, that's what's inside. You get a little baggie with your 3 wire nuts, and then you get your positive, negative, and ground wires. And then out of it comes the locking cord. Okay, so to preface this, I am a videographer by trade, and so I am looking for lighting that doesn't have flickering or banding, as they call it. Flickering in the world of videography would be like, you see the black lines, it almost looks like, I don't know how, it's just like black lines that roll up and down the screen. And it's because of the hertz rating of the LED or the light source. And if your shutter speed doesn't match it, then you'll get weird banding issues, it's not a huge issue because when I'm filming in here in this spot, whether I'm doing podcast or videos for YouTube or whatever, I will be using mostly studio lights with professional lights that like I'm using right now. You don't see any banding, but these are expensive lights. So there's some times that I just want to flick the lights on into place, get it all bright, and just film something without having to set up studio lights if I want to film just a quick thing. So I ordered the Parmita lights maybe 4 days ago, and they came a couple days ago, and I did test them out, and there is definitely flickering. Now they do not advertise that they are flicker free, but on Parmita's Amazon page on their lights, one of their main photos, their advertising photos, is a review from a lady saying that there's no flickering or anything like that. And so that's a little bit misleading because there's definitely flickering with these, and I will show you that here in a second. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test the brightness, I'm gonna test flickering, and then maybe test softness. They're both gonna be pretty evenly soft. This has a double diffusion, but this is also like an edge-lit panel. So the LEDs are around the rim here, and they're pointing in. So they're pointing in this way, and then it just reflects out. So as far as like softness wise, they're gonna be very, very similar. But output and, actually what are these? The Parmitas should be brighter because they're 15 watts, and the Torchstars are 12 watts, but it's a 100 watt equivalent, so it's still gonna be bright because there's gonna be about 12 lights in this big main room. So let's kind of jankily wire these up real quick and show you guys a quick setup so you can see like brightness wise and flickering and everything. Okay, so as you can see on the ceiling, well actually there's a big studio light over there. I'm gonna turn that off. There's 1, 2, 3, and then one big studio light. These are the Parmita lights. These ones right here are the Parmita ones. And yes, they are kind of jankily hanging from the ceiling. Forgive me, I'm living life on the edge here, okay? So we're going to turn the studio lights off, and then we're gonna turn these on. And boom. Now my ISO is at 1000. I'm gonna keep the same ISO. My shutter speed is at 50 right now. Now if I move this up and down, you can see the black stripes in the actual video. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see them a little clearer. You see those stripes in the video? That is banding. Now if I take my shutter speed down to 40, they pretty much go away. But if I go up to 50, which is what I should be at 24 frames a second, it's bad. 60, it gets even worse. 80, it's way, way, way bad. So this is at 30 frames a second, 40 frames a second, 50 frames a second, 60 frames a second, 80 frames a second. So yeah, wait, hold on. So yeah, that explains the flickering to you. And now I'm gonna try the Torchstar. I haven't tried these yet, so we'll see if they're brighter and if they do flicker. I'm hoping they don't flicker. They actually advertise that they don't flicker, so we'll see. And again, we are at ISO 1000, shutter speed 50. It's at 4K, 24 frames a second. Now let's switch over to the Torchstars. And boom, there's the Torchstars. I can't really tell what's brighter. I don't know, honestly. Just from looking at this, you'll be able to tell from the video. Here's the brightness from the Parmidas, and here's the brightness from the Torchstars. Now, as for banding and flickering, we're at 24 frames a second, 50 shutter speed, and I see no banding whatsoever that I can tell. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I see nothing so far. Bump it up to 60 shutter, 80 shutter, 100 shutter, all the way down to 40, 30, 50, back to 50. I don't see any banding right now. If it is, it's very minimal, and I'm just referencing my monitor here, so there could be some there, but I don't see any at all. So how would this be helpful to you, even if you're not a videographer? Number one would be the quality of light. I think that when companies cheap out on light source, you can kind of tell with stuff like that. That kind of makes me question the rest of the light itself. Also with dimming, a lot of lights, when they dim, they flicker. And I didn't hook these up to dimmers. If you guys want me to do a test, I can do a test with, well, I'm gonna return the Parmidas, but as soon as I get dimmers, I can test the Torchstar, so that's probably what I'll be installing. So I would assume you'd have a much better chance of no flickering with dimming if you use the Torchstars than with the cheaper Parmidas. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I really didn't see a lot of like video stuff out there as far as like different LED recessed lights and like flush mount lights and flickering issues for videographers or photographers, anybody like that. It really doesn't matter for photographers. But I hope this can be helpful to somebody. If it was helpful to you, leave a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the lights, throw a comment down below, I'll get back to you. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see random reviews like this. It's not all house improvement or anything. I'm doing a whole series on this YouTube studio that I'm building, and that's why I'm making this video. But I just review random stuff. So if you're into that, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.